is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2015 NFL MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers as they get set to match up with the #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
More now to return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots. The big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
And Christian McCaffrey, one of my favorite players in the 2017 draft, he didn't disappoint. At 80 catches as a rookie, look for him to be more actively involved in the running game in 2018. Yes, he can run between the tackles.
On second down, McCaffrey. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
Last year's #1 overall pick comes off the edge for this defense. Slowed a bit by injuries as a rookie. Still had 7 sacks in 11 games and showed pass rush ability that makes teams take notice because not only can he rush off the edge, he can kick inside in their nickel or sub packages and rush over the guards and create a little bit of havoc for quarterbacks trying to see upfield.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
It was funny during the draft process. Someone said to me, well, whoever takes Christian McCaffrey, as it turned out, it was Carolina. How are they going to use him? Is he going to be an every down back? Is he going to be a third down guy? They're going to use him in the slot? What are they going to do with him? And I just said, yes.
All of that.
No doubt about it. This kid can do it all.
And he did a nice job there out of the backfield to pick up the first. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, Newton. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes, that was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second down, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A first carry for a former 49er and also a former Buckeye. It's Carlos Hyde. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
A first carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On third down, Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Thomas Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Emmanuel Agba in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Hyde. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On the counter, this is Hyde. And some room, and I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They run again with Hyde on first. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Now Carlos Hyde gears up to take the field again. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Second and goal from the 1.
Over!
They get it to him running left. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read and they get to the backfield to make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Hard throw, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Newton now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
To throw on 3rd down. Newton. The open man is Smith. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 23 yards on the play.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. He's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. To the air again, Newton. And that's going to be caught by Funchess for a Carolina touchdown. Devin Funchess, his third touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Mayfield on first down. He dumps it to Hyde. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. First down now, but the clock continues to move. First down, Mayfield. Screenplay, Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Detroit!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Mayfield. The pressure gets to him again. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 4th down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They give it to Anderson. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. That's taken at around the 40. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin at Arrowhead as Baltimore is in town to take on Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who are out in front as they move towards halftime. Patrick Mahomes has thrown a touchdown pass there. From there, we take the long trek eastward to Tampa, check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. The Jets trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards.
Leopard!
First down, a run with Hyde. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Thomas Davis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Mayfield now. Buying time to his left. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
Detroit!
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, Johnson. And now moving a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
They come out here in the I.
No. Check. Patriot.
It's a quarterback sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Duke Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. Moore now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Set. 180.
On second down, here's Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Look at the spin.
Balance.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's got the hook up for the first time with a veteran, Jeremy Maclin. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Newton now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. First and 10. Throwing is Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Macklin. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. 3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Out of the gun, Newton. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And Gano's kick is right through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know, you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Gone!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. They run. It's Johnson. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. Dontari Poe in on the stop. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carl Nassib. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And they've got the hookup. This is Olsen. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing, Mayfield. Dumping it off for Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Detroit!
To throw, Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go play action here on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now Mayfield out to the flat for Hyde. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. He can run for it, and he will. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Moore now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And fortunate field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Here we go, fellas. That's it. 180.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Larry Ogunjobi. Now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken in at the 11. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A 4th quarter score, meanwhile, from Kansas City. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way. A 1st down throw from Mayfield. And he rifles it, complete, caught by Landry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Mayfield now on 2nd down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Mario Addison. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Mayfield. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Denzel Ward. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are in field goal range here already. How do you handle this situation, tie game?
In a perfect scenario, you want to find a way to get the ball to the proper spot for your field goal kicker. They always have preferences, and you want to bleed the clock down so that when you do kick it, as the ball's going through the post,
zeros.
The clock hits zeros.
Back to the ground. This time it's high. And a short gain here down to the 22. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Browns on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. Moore now on the return. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, They're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. Back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Back to throw. And, a cruncher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Detroit! Detroit!
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. And he'll find Akins there, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Leopard! Leopard!
Mayfield to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Browns, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.